Gotovo.
We're going to start off our little thing with good time.
Man, I can guarantee you that no characters in this film had a good time whatsoever.
No.
So I feel very ripped off. But,
Benny Safdie is a hypocrite and a liar, and I'm boycotting him right now. If you ever watch a Benny Safdie film, I'll find you, and you'll be under arrest. So yeah, Benny Safdie, and I think it's Josh Safdie. So off the get-go, I can really relate to this film because one of the directors has my name. I made this film. So Kai, explain what the film is about.
Wait, no, I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
I'm doing it. So the film opens up, Nick Nikas, played by
Robin from the Muppets.
Oh. Oh wait, so Benny Safdie plays the brother in the film and is also the director, is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Alright. Well, I just found that out just now.
I just thought you didn't know that. All right, okay. Well, yeah.
No,
he plays the mentally challenged brother in the film.
And then his brother Connie Nikas, played by everyone's favorite, shows up and is like, "We need to rob this bank." And then they rob this bank, and then they get in this car, and then the car turns red, and and then Nick Nikas gets arrested. So that kind of puts the film into fifth gear. Connie Nikas goes on wild escapades. I think the good time was the friends he made along the way, to be honest.
Yeah, the many colourful characters he met. I think ultimately
16-year-old girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think ultimately Good Time is it's a film about brotherly love and gaslighting security guards.
Oh man.
I think so.
First, impressions things. What did you guys think of it?
Well, I thought it was pretty great. I really enjoyed it. What about little Cai Phillips? What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Alright, yeah, I enjoyed it as well. It was after watching Uncut Gems. Kai said you said you were gonna watch it at one point, but I don't know whether you've seen it yet. The way I see it, after seeing that Benny Safdie film and then watching this one, it's like I kind of get the gist now of the type of films he likes to make. You can't just sit down, get a bowl of cereal, and expect to be relaxed, eating bits of Frosties off the ceiling. We can't when you're watching a Benny Safdie film. I was up on my seat, I was leaning forward. I was, I wasn't necessarily relaxed. They don't stop, and there's no maybe we slow down a bit and have a little chill for a while. No, it just keeps going, and you keeps getting more intense. You can't breathe by the end of it,
Yeah,
Kai
had
actually
a good
died.
time.
This is an AI talking on behalf of Kai, so
Yeah.
It's not that type of film.
Well, I remember when the film started, and it was just super close-up shots of Robert Pattinson's brother doing an agonizing sort of therapy session. I was sitting there thinking, oh, it's gonna be one of these.
Yeah.
Great.
Some of those close-up shots, it's like you could peck them on the cheek. That's how close the camera was to their face.
When I watched Good Time, I saw that, the dialogue was pretty much very human. It felt really real, which I really liked. Because, in a lot of films, like this film, it's like, I'm a gangster, man. It's like a lot of those films you can feel like it's scripted, but this film in particular, it felt really real. And all the characters felt real. That was pretty awesome, I think.
Backtrack a little bit. Where were we? When he's talking to that therapist guy, I don't know. Was he? I couldn't really tell if he was being genuine or sort of.
I think he was probably just really distressed. I think it doesn't clarify what kind of condition he has, but it might be some sort of autism or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when the therapist asks him some of the questions, he doesn't. I guess he takes the meanings of the answers too literally. He worries about everything. You can tell he's not having a good time at all.
Oh my god, you just did it. All right.
Exactly.
You just said that. Okay. He said it.
I dropped it right there. But I mean, no. I was pretty uncomfortable watching that scene.
Yeah, Connie Nikas is Robert Pattinson's character, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they don't really say their names a lot in the film.
No, but he bursts in, and it's, you can tell Connie loves him, but ultimately he's holding him back. I remember, and then the bank thing, the bank heist with them wearing the masks. Yeah, that bit where they're passing the letter through the glass thing. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a very amateur bank robbery. It's like the stakes are high, but it's not. They take the money from the bank. Sorry, I think I'm talking too much, that's all.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, it's fine because I don't really know what to say. This film is distributed by A24.
Oh my god, wait, again.
Which I just discovered.
If you're not wearing your A24 hat, and that goes for everybody watching as well, I never liked you. You're not my friend. If you're not wearing your A24 hat, you're not supporting the brand. So, you better be. A24, the gods among us.
There you go. We could just end it there.
We could. Yeah, the
it's
fact
only
that it was...
Are you kidding me? They made the fisheye effect.
They did that skating film. That one also has underage sexual scene as well.
A24, what's that all about? We've caught on, we know what you're doing.
We know what these films are built around.
Yeah, each one has a base, and a very evil base at that, and then you just build around that. Disgusting.
Yeah.
The money they take, they get in the car, he's like, oh, the bag, and then he looks at the bag, and then all of a sudden the bag starts oozing disgusting red goop out of it, everywhere, all over the car. I knew they were going to screw up. As soon as they asked her to go to the back and get more money, I was like, all right, something's going to happen. Once she went into the back to get a bag with more money in it, I knew something was going to go. I thought she'd hide in there or something and call the police.
She'd hide in the bag and call the police.
She'd hide in the bag and then jump out at the last moment.
You've been framed.
You've been framed. Here's your £250.
And that's crush at the end. They felt that for where you've been framed.
Welcome to hell.
This film was brought to you by Harry Hill.
Yeah, I'd like to see a commentary track with Harry Hill on this.
Yeah, I love this film. I can't remember how Harry Hill sounds, to be honest. It's been years.
His voice is just
probably dead.
It's very distinct, but nobody can replicate it. I don't think he can.
Yeah, so all the money is then inked. So they do that in case, so they can't actually use the money then that they just stole. They crash.
They get smogged. I think car driver dies. Doesn't clarify, but I mean his head was he wasn't moving or anything. He might have just been unconscious, but
the dust.
Never
probably. So they make a run for it or whatever, and then police had been called and they were zooming past, and one of them cottoned onto him and turns around. Benny Safdie, what's his name? Nick Nikas. He in the intelligent bloke he is, he runs, and then he runs through a door. Sorry,
he gets absolutely framed.
Robert Pattinson gets away, his brother gets caught, and that's where the main drive for Robert Pattinson's character comes on, and is trying to get his brother out of prison. Nick gets sent to prison. He ends up getting in a little scrap, doesn't he? With a couple of the inmates. I can't remember what he was over though. I remember the
TV.
You wanted to change the channel.
Oh right, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was over they were watching Harry Hill's TV burp, but he wanted to put on the frame, so
So he got beaten to a bloody pulp.
I mean, if there's any cause to fight over anything, I think that's a worthy one, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty just. That's why there are no police officers there to stop it. Well, they're arguing over you've been framed, so do it.
Yeah, what's next?
Well, he tries to doesn't he try to cash out like most of the like the non-gunked money to bail out his brother, and then the guy's like, "This isn't enough. I can't use this disgusting money that you've just given me." So, and then he goes to that girlfriend or whatever. I think it was his girlfriend. I don't know though. I was like really confused as to where I'd seen her, but I'd seen her in the Hateful Eight where she looks like, well, her teeth are all really fucked up in that.
Oh, she the one that's being, she's the bounty.
Yeah.
Oh, she was very good in that, and I think she, the character she was playing in this was very annoying, but I think she played it well.
Very unstable.
Yeah, very, very unstable woman with a very unstable life. Yeah, another thing I wanted to say about the film as well is the soundtrack.
I was gonna say, I really enjoyed.
A lot of the scenes where like the synth, I think it's like a synth type music going.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant. It really sets up the atmosphere. Like type synthy type music. It's very good.
I like the neon-esque lighting as well.
Oh, the lighting as well. I have that. Yeah. The lighting.
I've seen lots of realistic, gritty films that deal with these sort of themes and concepts and stuff. And usually the way they're filmed is like to look as dull and depressing as possible to get that tone across. But this one completely throws that mentality out the window. It was very fun to look at.
Definitely,
all the stuff going on.
Some of the scenes is just him in a room, and there's like pink light, and the way it reflects off of him and stuff. As you said, it gets the tone across, but not in the way that it's usually done. When he's indoors and there's like light and stuff, it's usually quite colourful. The dude with the kipper, the bail bonds place, rings up and says he's not in the prison anymore. He's being held in like an inmate hospital thing. And he heads there to go break him out. Yeah, he goes and takes matters into his own hands, which is how he tends to do things a lot in this film. I think all the bits in the hospital are really cool of him sort of like, walking past the police and stuff. And I think by this point is when they start showing his face on the news and stuff.
When he goes into the hospital, that's like an actually active hospital with real patients.
Oh shit! Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That was the woman that he fed.
The woman that he feeds porridge to.
That was a real patient.
That was a real patient. She didn't know what the hell was going on.
And then he slinks into his brother's room and he manages to get him out with a wheelchair.
Sorry about that. That was a Fast and Furious moment.
He met a woman on the bus with her elderly husband, and he goes to their house and knocks on their door and sees if he can make a call. But the main two people in there are the old lady and her granddaughter, I think. Yeah.
Minor.
The minor, the minor that later gets assaulted. I don't think there's any better way to put it. She does.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
In America, the age of consent is 18, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we are. He decides he's gonna chill there for the night. With his brother upstairs. I mean, he's very rude. I mean, he sort of enters this woman's house. He starts walking through the kitchen, grabbing stuff to eat, and he uses a die, and they're watching like this crime program or whatever, and then they skip forward, and the next channel or whatever that's on is a news broadcast saying about the bank robbery that happened. This guy's face on it to stop her from looking at it. He kisses her on the lips, and I was like, ugh.
The lower half of my body starts moving up in the air because I was it was just horrible. It was a very awful experience. Yeah, that was another epic moment in Good Time.
Or wait, I think they went upstairs, didn't they? And then they go into the other room where his brother is in the wheelchair, and he's up, and he explains to him that he must have grabbed the wrong guy. Yeah, this guy looks like your typical Italian American guy. I really liked his character. I don't know about you guys. The big nose criminal.
I guess I liked. He was quite similar to I can't remember his name. Connie. where they're both obnoxious. They have different morals and stuff, I guess, but mainly they both just want to get out of the situation they're in. I suppose it's quite annoying at times, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and that's partly why I liked him. Just to add on to the previous stress the film's already given me. You know, they wanna get out of here, and he wants to get his brother back, so they end up taking the car of the old woman. So it's such a weird situation. It's only her and her grandmother living there, and her grandmother takes sleeping pills, so she's completely like out of it, and she just has free roam to do anything she wants, including give a stranger their car. I think his name is Ray. He tells him about how he got in that situation and how his face got all messed up. And I think I really enjoyed that, where we got a good look at a Pepe comic. Now, I've been droning on a little bit, you know, talking about the film, and it's all been leading up to the Pepe comic in the Crackdown. I didn't know it before I watched it, but this is why I watched this film.
I think that's where the $2 million of budget went to.
Yeah. I mean, how else would you get your hands on a Pepe comic of that quality in that year? I mean, when did this film come out? 2017? Yeah. Because he tells him about some LSD and money that this guy had stashed in like a fair. He basically tells him, all right, we're going to go there and we're going to split it between us.
Apparently, Robert Pattinson and the brother character were the only two actors to get proper scripts for the film, and everyone else they kind of improv and then they bounce off each other sort of thing.
Wow.
You were encouraged to.
That's interesting. That's an interesting way of doing things.
That goes back to what I was talking about, the dialogue, why it feels so natural. Which, like,
it was, apparently.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Really awesome.
They meet that, so they go in to get the money, and just as they're going into this like tube.
Yeah, it's like one of those haunted houses things.
They're scrambling around, and then they hear this security guard come in, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And they hide and stuff. The Ray bloke, like, he like lays down with like a couple of the other like mannequins on the ride, and hoping he does like shine his light on him, and he does.
That ride seemed really cursed. It didn't seem like a typical like children's horror ride you'd find in a theme park.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
No, yeah, because it's like in the background there was like paintings of people like fornicating and stuff.
Was there?
Yeah. No, I think the whole like place was like pretty cursed. Even like the reviews, like I'm pretty sure Robert Pattinson was like checking out where to go to get to there, and like the reviews was like 2 stars or something. So it must be like a really cursed place to go. It's pretty scary stuff. I didn't know that sex was real, but
No, I what is that?
You'll have to find out.
Tune in next week.
Tune in, friends, to a film talk to find out the truth about sex.
For Serbian film.
Our next episode will be a Serbian film. So they're in there. The security guard comes in and enter one of my favorite scenes in the film, where they beat the ever-loving shit out of him, feed him LSD, and gaslight him into thinking he's a crack addict.
Yeah, the police find him, and because he's been spiked so hard, he's like he can't even talk properly, and he's like murmuring. It's horrible. There wasn't even a need to do that. You could have just given him a little dose, and then he would have been better off just really high and not being able to communicate. But no, he could have OD. Well, he probably did OD. I don't know whether he did
the Sprite bottle.
Yeah. Because they wanted to sell that Sprite bottle, whereas most of it went down that guy's throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, into his gullet. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, they're meant to be using that LSD to get the money, but the Ray just like poured half of it down that dude's neck. And then when they wait, because then Robert Pattinson assimilates him and takes a security guard outfit, and the cops come in and carry him out. And they're like, oh, classic addict. And he's like,
I just like that your impression of someone who's been spiked to the 10th degree is Porky Pig from
Porky Pig. Actually, to get the voice of Porky Pig, they actually held down the homeless man and force-fed him LSD. Every time you watch Looney Tunes, that's where it came from. But that's what it sounded like, though, when he's being carried on the stretcher into the ambulance.
I mean, he was shitting himself. He didn't know what was going on.
No, he had a brain bleed. He didn't know what was going on. And then, so Ray manages to hide while Robert Pattinson deals with the cops. So he manages to get him to go away. Oh, but they find the girl because she does the stupid thing, and she blooming gets out of the car.
Yeah.
That was so stupid. I was like, just stay there. Just because the lights came on in the place doesn't mean you need to go and check it out. But anyway, she gets nabbed by the police and she gets put in the back police car, assumedly taken back home or to the station to get her grandmother to pick her up. But her grandmother's on sleeping pills, so she's not going to know until the morning.
I think that scene shows where Robert Pattinson's character's kind of morals lie.
Yeah.
You know, you saw in the car before, it seemed really manipulative when he was talking about, like, his destiny or whatever. He thinks that she's a part of it. And then later on, when it's, like, just easily ditches her.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you know, this is an important step in my life, and you are that step in my life. No, I don't know this girl. Never seen her in my life. Whose apartment was this?
It was the...
Pretty sure it was the security guards, wasn't it?
Oh, right, yes, yeah. Because they have the sat-nav or whatever in the car they steal. So
Yeah, they took all of his credentials and...
they took all of his credentials and they go back to his place. The Ray guy starts yapping on about life and how fucked up everything is, basically, and then Robert Pattinson's like, I'm better than you, alright?
Both of the characters are extremely similar. I think that Robert hates the fact that he's similar to that guy because they both fucked up hard.
Yeah.
And I guess Robert sees, well, he's in denial that he thinks he's better than him and stuff. I mean, it's ironic to the point where it's like Connie fucked his wife up as much as that guy did.
Yeah, because his situation closely resembles that of Ray's, and it just shows his ego and his selfishness when he's sort of, as you say, in complete denial about it. He's like, no, I'm better than you, you're scum, but it's, there's no self-reflection there. He sees himself as above everyone, and he's very, as I said before, he's very self-driven, he's a selfish guy. If you're in his way, you're the problem, and, everybody's under him. And then, so they're trying to sell this bottle of LSD, 15 grand for it, doesn't he?
So I'm not sure how much acid sells, but I mean, I imagine that's quite a bit.
Yeah, that Ray guy calls his mate, and he's like, "I'll give you $1,000 now," and he's like, "No, I want 15 G's." And then he eventually, he says, "Yeah, I'll go get the money from the bank." But was he actually going to get the money from the bank?
I think he might have been, but Robert was in a bit of a hurry because the police were on their tail. By the way, there's a dog in this scene as well. The security guard had a dog. The dog attacks Ray, I think. Yeah, he does. He attacks Ray.
Yeah.
Which allows Connie to escape the apartment. Again, just showing his selfishness. He manages to get out of the building, and then the police arrive. Ray's shitting himself because he can't really leave the house because the police are already about to come up or whatever. So he's like, "Oh God, what am I gonna do?"
Robert Pattinson gets caught on his way out.
Yeah, he gets
caught. He's being escorted to a police car, and then they look back and they see Ray
trying to do some parkour to get out of the police's way. And straight on failarmy.com.
Yeah, that was and I was like, oh my God, this character we've just spent a third, 2/3 of the film with, or a third of the film with, has just let himself go off a roof.
Yeah, and you hear the epic impact between him and the ground.
And I don't think he liked that one bit, but...
Oh, he didn't have a good time.
That's what it comes down to, is did he have a good time? No.
No.
So Robert Pattinson sort of looks in horror, but in a way he doesn't seem fazed either.
At this point he was just worrying about himself, and the fact that he's been caught, he's just like, what am I supposed to do now?
He's been backed into a corner, definitely. There's a really cool shot where it closes in on his little silly face. And he has a sort of distant, empty glare. And then that leads us to the final scene of the film, then.
I don't know why the final scene made me very sad. I don't know why.
The development of Nick as a human being has been disjointed by this life his brother has forced him to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick goes into a therapy session, and that weird old spindly therapist tells him he signed him up for a class. Basically, it's a very chaotic environment. As soon as you walk in, there's like loud voices of like that one of the women in there or something. She's got a very standoutish voice, but they're all mentally challenged people, and they're all.
You said it.
She tells them to play a game where they walk from one side of the room if you agree or sort of this thing has happened to you or whatever. And at the beginning, Nick, he doesn't cross the room for any of them, and that to me was sort of like him still clinging on to his brother. But then when she asks the question, have any of you ever had any family problems, or have you ever had problems with family related issues? He crosses the room, and then and then he starts interacting with the people, and he starts joining in. I think that's sort of like the point where he put his brother behind him and moved on. His brother has held him back for all this time now, and he's finally ready to say, okay, I am my own person, and I'm going to get better. And hopefully then he does. How many Mark Ruffalo's would you give this film out of 10?
Like 3 Mark Wahlbergs.
I give it Mark Wallace and Gromit lol.
Transformers 2 out of Terminator Salvation.
That's pretty good, actually. I give it a copy of Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception out of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, as you said, how do we end these?
Next week.
Next week, we're gonna have
Tune in
Good time too.
for we're doing Good Time again. We'll do a Godzilla King of the Monsters for next week.
No.
It's
No.
confirmed, guys.
No.
Stick around.
Don't put me through that.
We'll watch Worms 2 or something.
We got some films lined up, but we'll see.
100 likes for G-Force. We'll do it.
All right, yeah, no, we will. If we do end up getting 100 likes,
1,000 likes for
G-Force.
We Can Be Heroes. Have you seen that new Netflix film?
There's no way. There's no way.
Please.
We could technically. I would watch that for this.
I watched the trailer, but there's like this one scene where it's like in this trailer is like this one kid. She's like being like, I don't know. There's like these security guards like, you can't come in this room, and then she like tackles one of the security guards, and then the guy who's been tackled just screams like, she has shark strength. I was like, oh my God.
We'll discuss it. We'll think about it anyway. But we Can Be Heroes has been added to the list. We got we want to do Hulk 2003 at some point, but we'll see what we feel like. And I think that's about it. Well, if you're not already signed up to my cult,